Heidi Rathjen was in a nearby classroom at the Ecole Polytechnique when Mark Lepin attacked the school back in 1989. Nowadays, a fierce gun control advocate and a spokesperson for Poly Remembers. And we're very happy to have her joining us now from Montreal. Heidi, thank you for this today.
Good afternoon.
What are you reflecting on this day?
Well, again, like we have done for many anniversaries, we reflect on the progress we made in terms of gun control. For many years, we didn't have to do much because we had a good law in 1995 on the 6th anniversary. The Liberal government at the time passed comprehensive, reasonable gun control. But since 2000, since the Conservative came into power, we lost most of what we had gained, and today we actually have less gun control in certain respects than we had at the time of the shooting. And so, again, 28 years later, it's important to remember, but also to think about how to prevent similar tragedies. And one of those ways is through tougher gun control. And so that's why, once again, the families of the victims, it's unfortunate that it has to come to that, have to keep lobbying, advocating for tougher gun control. And that's what we did last week in Ottawa.
Heidi, I know that you are going to be at a ceremony later today to commemorate the anniversary. You're going to be there in person. But let me talk to you about gun violence, if I can, and why today, like many days, but today in particular, is such an important opportunity to have this conversation about gun control and what you want people to know.
Well, I think most Canadians don't understand how much we've gone backwards in terms of gun control. And, for example, we keep comparing ourselves to the United States, thinking that our laws are much better. But in reality, most of the guns used, the military assault weapons used in the mass shootings that we see south of the border, are legal in Canada. And I'll just show you the picture of just one example. This is a weapon that was just recently approved by the RCMP for sale in Canada, and on top of it as an unrestricted weapon. So these weapons are legal in Canada. There's more and more of them coming on the market, and they're being approved under a Liberal government that promised to get tough on guns. This is just one example. We have lost the long gun registry. But we also lost many other measures. For example, in Canada, stores no longer have to keep records of sales, which are critical for criminal investigations. And yet this measure exists in the United States. So as I said, and some of these weapons that are legal in Canada are banned in U.S. states. So we have a long way to go in terms of fixing our laws. And we now see the effect of the weakening of the laws done by the Conservatives. Statistics Canada came out with the latest numbers on gun homicides last week, 2 weeks ago. And sure enough, it's now the third year in a row that gun homicides have gone up. In total, about 70% over 3 years. So there definitely is a trend. And we need to reverse that trend, and we're counting on the Liberal government to do so. But, you know, from our meeting with the minister, it does not seem to be a priority at all.
Heidi Rathjen joining us from Montreal on this anniversary. We appreciate you taking some time for CTV, Heidi, and getting the message out there once again this year.
Thanks for having me.